She was locked up in prison for 8 years, and she was involved in a murder of her mother because her mother was very, very abusive and mistreated her very, very horribly, making her believe that she had, diseases, and was getting her medical treatment for diseases that she did not actually have. And it's a really horrible thing. I know the show The Act is not like the most accurate thing from what she said, but I did watch that, and from just seeing that, I mean, if that's even remotely true, which I assume it, is just an absolutely disgusting situation. And pretty much the situation ended with Gypsy, who, was being mistreated and abused and thinking that she had like cancer and all these other horrible things for years and years, and having to live in a wheelchair and being force-fed food through a tube and all this other things. Eventually, with her boyfriend that she started seeing online, they came up with a plan for him to kill her mother. Then the boyfriend killed her mother. They both got away for a little bit, and then they got caught, and then she served 8 years, and her ex-boyfriend is now serving life, which I think makes sense since the guy said stuff about wanting to do stuff with her mom after she was, after the mom was dead romantically, and also saying that he, would do it again and stuff like that. I mean, obviously the mom was a horrible person, etc., but that guy obviously has complete problems and should be, away from the rest of society, at least, maybe, getting mental help, at least, of course, in a hospital. But when it comes to Gypsy, she was more so, in my eyes at least, just a victim, and honestly, a lot of other people's eyes. I don't think if she wasn't put in such a horrible situation, she would have ever wanted to do something like that. Yeah, she's been recently freed, and the interesting thing is that a lot of people are like treating her like a celebrity, and quite honestly, initially before she was released, people started making like fan edits of her on TikTok where it's like, worshiping her almost and being like, get it girl, which is fair, but she's involved with such a serious situation, and then now she's kind of just almost being a social media influencer, which I find very interesting. So because of that reason, I felt interest in talking about the situation and just like how people are seeing it and everything. I don't think there's anyone that's done it this way. Do you think she should be an influencer? I don't think that's really my place to say. I don't think that that's anyone's place to say. I think it's interesting. I understand the fascination that people have with Gypsy Rose. Obviously, it makes sense. And at the end of the day, I don't know how I would react in that situation. Nobody really does. And she's out in regular society now, and she's living. And do I think it's like the healthiest thing? No. The interesting thing about her life is that she went from being in a very abusive childhood where her mom was treating her horribly and she never really had a childhood. Then she gets locked up in prison for years and years. Also with that happening, she, finds out that her mom was lying about all these things. And then her mom is also, murdered by her ex and everything like that. Right after that, she gets out of prison, and there's a TV show about her, and there's so many people wanting to work with her. There's people making books with her. There's people, ready to put her on like news channels, etc. And initially when she made her social media account, her Instagram, she instantly in like a day or two had 5 million followers, which I understand why people would follow her and stuff because they're interested. But a lot of people are using it as like just an entertainment thing. It's really, there's no real line on what should be done because I mean, she is a human and she's kind of just like, I don't know, I guess these are things that are, in her grasp of doing. It's strange nonetheless to see somebody in such a unique situation. I'm not one to like say whether it's right or wrong for her to be doing social media and all that stuff. I don't think it really is. I don't think anyone should really like be saying whether it's right or wrong. I think like obviously I have concerns for a human that has already been through so much to be on social media in general. I don't think social media in general is really the healthiest thing for most people or anyone, quite honestly. I don't think anyone's made for it. But this is her account, and in less than like a few weeks she has 7 million followers. That's insane. So a lot of people are looking at everything she's doing, including myself, and she's been active. Like she's living as an influencer right now. It is crazy. She's posting all the time. I think this is a book that she's working on, which pretty quickly after her getting out, she instantly is advertising a book, which get that bag, respect. But then she also was promoting this special, a lifetime special for her life and everything. It's interesting, there's not really much to add. It's just such a unique situation. A lot of people have also been talking about this iconic post that she did, which I think it's like pretty funny. I don't think anything bad about it. There's this post right here that says from Gypsy Rose, has 102,000 likes in 20 hours. It says Ryan, who's her boyfriend or husband, don't listen to the haters. I love you and you love me. We do not owe anyone anything. Our family is who that matters. She's completely right. If you get likes and good comments, great. If you get hate, then whatever, because they don't matter. I love you. Besides, they're jealous because you're rocking my world every night. Dude, that is funny. Yeah, I said it. The D is fire. Happy wife, happy life. That is so fucking iconic. That is funny. And then Brian said, who said I gave a... This is real. Who said I gave a damn about what these people say anyways? Haha, now come get it, baby. Ah, I get it. I'm glad she's like, seems like she's enjoying it, and she like actually seems to be level-headed with it and tries to understand that it's not like, if people are being mean to her or whatever, like they don't matter. I think that's cool, and I hope she genuinely believes that, because obviously with that amount of success and everything, I mean, you know, just instantly thrown at you, the amount of people that are watching you and everything, it could definitely be a lot. It's a really interesting situation. I mean, she's literally on like Lifetime. She's in New York. She's doing a lot of things, and I don't know. I hope she keeps on handling it the way that she is. I hope she has a great life and everything. And that's all you could wish. All right, let's watch this. Like, Gypsy Rose Blanchard speaks out after prison release.
Do you miss your mom, Dee Dee?
Yeah, I miss my mom.
When you look back, do you think there are ways that this could have been handled differently?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I look at things in hindsight, and I realize that there were other options besides murder. But I was so sheltered that I couldn't.
But she was like, how old when this happened and shit? Obviously, yes, there's probably ways that could have been handled better, of course. Murder's not a good thing. But like, she was a kid, and like that situation is so fucked. You know, that was her way of getting out of this horribly abusive situation.
I couldn't see them at the time.
She's the face of one of the most
she was 23 during that,
stories
or 19?
In memory.
This is the house where Claudinia Blanchard was found stabbed to death.
24? Wait, you guys are giving me so many numbers. How old was she when her mom died? She was 19, but she was very sheltered. She was 23. All right, guys, make up your fucking mind. This is the problem with social media. Whatever. Either way, she was 19 or 21, etc., which is actually older than I thought she was. But to be fair, I don't think she had the same mindset as the average 23-year-old or 19-year-old. I don't know how she could have with, you know, the life that she was dealt.
Rose Blanchard, portrayed by her mother as a chronically ill girl, unable to walk, with that signature baby voice. But it was all a lie. Her mother, Dee Dee, was actually the one who was sick with the psychological disorder Munchausen syndrome by proxy, where a parent seeks attention through their child's made-up illnesses.
That's crazy.
Your mother controlled so much. Many people just can't understand why you didn't just get up and walk out of that wheelchair. You weren't sick.
She didn't know that.
It's mental, it's emotional, it's physical.
For a lot of it.
All these reasons combined together is what prevented me from just walking out of that situation.
Give us a sense of the fear that you felt.
I feared more than anything that if I ran away, that things would be worse for me at home.
Gypsy becoming the mastermind in her mother's slaying after a lifetime
She did know? Yeah, but she didn't know like instantly. Like for years she didn't know. She eventually knew.
Abuse.
I actually didn't even want her to be killed. I just wanted out of my situation.
Of course, yeah.
And I thought that was the only way out. So I think that there is this judgment on me that I killed my mom because I hated her, and that's not true.
No.
At age 23, she pled guilty for the role she played.
I mean, she should have been mad at her mom. But I think from what I've gathered from her too, she also understood that her mom is like, at least now she understands that her mom was completely like mentally disturbed.
Stabbed 17 times by Gypsy's then boyfriend. Now, after nearly 9 years in prison, she's a free woman. Are you ready to join the adult world?
I am. I think that I have gained enough
She was 25
behind bars.
Damn, I didn't know she was like so old when like, not that that's old or whatever, but she was like, you know, an adult. I didn't know that she was 23 or 25 when her and her ex-boyfriend decided to murder her mom.
Speaking on camera 1 week after walking out of a Missouri prison on December 28th. When you look at these pictures now of Gypsy Rose, do you recognize her?
The video just said 23. Okay, she's 23. Jesus.
I don't. Like, I know that it's me, but at the same time, that isn't me anymore.
In many ways, this
True.
is not Gypsy's
True.
second chance at life, but her first. At 32 years
True.
old, with a new husband and a social media star with millions of followers.
That's crazy.
Hey everyone, this is Gypsy. I'm finally free.
Gypsy's first TikTok going viral, posted just days after her release.
You're trending
She
on
seems
TikTok,
so, like,
people saying things like I'm tipsy
chill
for Gypsy.
and level-headed,
How do you explain
which is
this?
insane to see
Honestly,
after a
I don't
situation
know
like that.
myself. I consider myself just a normal woman, but I think maybe my story resonates with a lot of people.
Her allure bolstered by documentaries and by Hollywood, portrayed in Hulu's award-winning miniseries, The Act.
My mom is my best friend. All she wants to do is keep me safe. Gypsy!
So many people are
Gosh.
embracing you out there. Do you feel any conflict with that? You've got fame, even though you participated in a murder?
Of course I feel conflicted.
Yeah, that's how I
fame
feel.
is not
It's odd,
what I'm
but
looking for. I always said I think I'm infamous, and then I came out famous, but that's not what I want.
That's
I
pretty
want
spot
to
on.
be an influence for change.
She's beginning by offering details of her life in prison in the new Lifetime series, The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
I share my story to be a cautionary tale so that the next person that might be in a situation like mine where they are in
she
a
talked about not liking the show. Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened in her story like she does. That's her story, so, you know.
abusive relationship, or they are feeling trapped. They don't take the route that I did.
Oh my god.
By the time she was 8 years old, life for Gypsy was nonstop pills and procedures. She was confined to a wheelchair.
Oh, she didn't rewatch it? Oh. I don't blame her. I couldn't imagine. Couldn't imagine. Like, what the, like, this is, like, there was nothing wrong with her, and, like, she was living through such horrible things. That's insane. I remember when I first heard about this story, and it just blew my mind. It was so horrible.
Told me and told the doctors that I had everything from leukemia to muscular dystrophy. Paralysis from the neck down was one of actually in the medical records.
She didn't necessarily say she didn't
And the
like
doctor
it. She just said she doesn't have the intention of watching it because it was inaccurate to her personal truth. That's
me moving
understandable.
my arms, so how could I be paralyzed from the neck down?
Or
Were
people
you
just
ever
like, I wonder if she had to
tempted
give the
in any of
right,
these
like,
medical
I always wondered with that show, was she like having to be like, oh, I'm comfortable with this being made? Like, I know it's like kind of weird, but did she get paid for that either? Like, I mean, it's literally on her life. Like, I always wondered about that because that's so strange, you know? Like, did she have to be like, oh, I'm comfortable with this? You know, obviously the mom like couldn't because she's not alive. It's just, I don't know.
Test to say, I can move my arms. I can
They didn't
walk.
ask. Yeah, they
Of
probably
course,
didn't have
but
to.
my mother was always in the room with me.
Nah.
She never left my side, not once.
Gypsy forced to undergo numerous procedures, including eye surgeries, a feeding tube, the removal of her
gosh.
salivary glands.
What is your health situation now? How were you permanently affected by all that you went through?
I did see a doctor in prison, and I'm completely healthy. Like, I have no health problems whatsoever.
That's good.
Grown-up Gypsy revealing for the first
That's
time
just
now
such a horrible
that
situation.
she was hiding a dark struggle.
In the docuseries, you reveal something pretty surprising. You say that you were addicted to painkillers. How serious was this addiction?
This is really hard to talk about.
How can someone do that to their child? Her mom was just completely mentally ill. That's really it, you know? Like, not trying to justify it, but her mom was the one with all the issues, and doesn't take away from the horrible things or anything, but it's sad for both of them, you know? Obviously, she didn't deserve that. She deserved a mom that was able to, you know, be a great mother and stuff, and her mom was not that person.
Because it took me down a really dark path. But I felt like it
really
was
sad.
my only way to cope for a time.
She says she'd had enough after 2 decades of abuse.
We have breaking news. The body of 48-year-old Claudinia Blanchard has been found inside her home in Springfield.
On June 14, 2015, police find Dee Dee Blanchard stabbed
In
to
the
death
show, they
her
got the house
Missouri
very
home.
accurate.
Authorities discover Gypsy plotted with a boyfriend she met online, Nicholas Godejohn, to kill her mother.
Your mom's dead.
Wait, what?
She's deceased.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Now, what I want to ask you, did you have involvement in this? Yeah.
The two even having sex in the next room near her mother's body.
Wow.
Gypsy would eventually plead guilty to second-degree
Wild.
murder. Godejohn was convicted of carrying out the stabbing death and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Gypsy now revealing that
Crazy.
drugs played a role that night.
Did your addiction have any connection to this crime?
I think a part of it did. I would get high to stay numb, to not feel emotion.
And do you blame that for your decision?
No. I don't
That's sad.
blame drugs. I don't blame anything. I don't make excuses. There's no excuse for committing murder.
Your former boyfriend, Nick Godejohn, is serving a life sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair that he is incarcerated for life for killing your mom and you're out?
Well, I'm sure that we
I can
both
keep
have
on
a
eating
lot
that
of
while watching
regrets.
this.
All I can really say is that I did my time. He's doing his time for his part. And I wish him well on his journey.
Strange as it sounds,
She words
says
everything very
prison
well.
actually freed her. She's now sober and has earned her GED.
I
dropped
still
out of
think
school
about
and didn't
my
even finish
mom
it.
from time to time. After all, she still was my mother. No matter what she did to me, I wish that I could go back in time and change things.
Was she a monster?
I don't believe my mother was a monster. I want people to know that she had mental illness.
Yep. True.
She had a lot of
Very true.
demons herself that she was struggling with. She was just a very sick woman.
Prison brought another unexpected change to Gypsy's life.
You got a lot of letters from a lot of people.
I started getting a lot of support letters.
One of those letters from her now husband, Ryan Anderson, a middle school special education teacher from Louisiana.
He just said, I would like to get to know you and I support you and here's a little bit about myself. He sounded like a total sweetheart. And I'm like, I'm gonna write this guy back.
The couple married in 2022 while Gypsy was locked up.
I hope he's just like a great guy. Maybe he just like could see that she was dealt cards that no one should be dealt. You know, maybe he wasn't even trying to like get with her or anything, you know, obviously maybe he just actually wanted to send her support and then maybe they got to know each other and it led to them liking each other. I would hope that's what it is, you know, and hopefully they just keep on being good for each other.
Ryan there to pick her up the day she was released.
But you're really...
I hate that people are worshiping her, but also she's so strong. Yeah, I mean, I get that it's odd. I mean, I don't hate that people are like, you go, girl, because she seems very level-headed now and stuff, and seeing her like out and like the way she's handling things, it's like, okay, she takes accountability, but she also, like the way that she talks about her mother, the thing, she seems as level-headed and sincere as you could possibly want, and I just hope she keeps on maintaining that.
Together,
I think it's great.
physically for the first time.
Yes.
We call it newly together with.
What are your plans? Do you want to have children?
We've talked about starting a family. We just don't know when at this point. We're just trying to focus
Fair.
on our marriage and establishing a good marriage before we put
Smart.
kids into it.
It's very
Did
smart.
you get your happy ending?
I think he did.
Time will tell. I think I'm a Prince Charming.
Gypsy says she knows she still has a long road ahead.
Much of your life with your mom was built on essentially getting the sympathy of the public. How do you convince people that you're not manipulating them now, as you and your mom did so many years ago?
I don't think I can convince anyone anything.
True.
All I can do is be myself, put myself out there and in the truest form. I'm not setting out to manipulate anyone. I'm just myself.
I wish her the best. I mean, the whole situation is just horrible to go through, and you know, she's killing it right now. And if she wants to keep on being in the limelight of, you know, having people watch her everything, and she's enjoying that, then so be it, you know. And I don't think she's doing anything wrong, and I hope her husband is, you know, a really good rock for her, and I hope that, you know, just wish them both the best, because I mean, this is her first time living in the real world, and I couldn't imagine, like, she's lived such a unique life. Like, she even said at one point, like, being in prison was, you know, better than back at home when she, you know, was younger and stuff. So I mean, I get that people like find some things, like when she said like this D is fire and stuff like that, or when people say tipsy for gypsy, it's, you know, which is like, oh, we're getting drunk for Gypsy Rose and stuff. I feel like that's like, I get it, like it's like kind of kind of silly, but like she is a real human being. I feel like we should like try to take it a little bit serious and also hear what she's advocating for as well, because that's obviously what she's very passionate about. And I think she's going to make a lot of changes for a lot of people. And I love to see what she's doing right now. It's really good.